us.
We're happy you tuned into our digital show. Today in 30, it's a little half hour of everything you need to know to catch up from our show.
Yeah, first up, we're going to have the latest on President Biden's plan to fight COVID. He's got sweeping new vaccine mandates that will impact tens of millions of Americans.
Also had our visit to the 9/11 museum with 3 men who lost their fathers in that attack and were inspired to follow in their footsteps as first responders themselves. Powerful message they're sharing now as the nation marks 20 years since that fateful day.
And then we're going to switch gears and get ready for some Sunday night football. We've lined up a great menu for your weekend feast.
Oh, I hope it's nachos and not bones with sauce. Plus, one of our favorite ladies is here to close out the week with us. The talented Holland Taylor stopped by to chat with Hoda and Jenny,
that's what
as I like to call her, Jenna, about her new binge-worthy series.
So let's get started because it's time for
Today in 30. NBC national correspondent Miguel Almaguer with the latest. Miguel, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. The president unveiled several new mandates, all aimed at upping vaccinations. Here at Los Angeles County, the LAUSD decided they would ask all students 12 and older to be vaccinated before the end of the year. Across the country, many believe those changes could help turn the course of the pandemic.
With the Delta variant fueling more than 100,000 daily COVID cases and some hospitals running out of ICU beds, this morning President Biden is putting pressure on the unvaccinated.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us.
The president's sweeping new mandates requiring all federal workers and contractors be vaccinated. His plan also calls on OSHA to issue an emergency rule that any company with 100 or more employees vaccinate its workforce or require testing at least once a week. In all, the White House says it'll affect 100 million workers in the public and private sectors.
We're going to reduce the spread of COVID-19 by increasing the share of the workforce that is vaccinated in businesses all across America.
The plan sparking conservative backlash.
Joe, you canceled all medical freedom today.
Some pointing to this answer from the president in 2020 on whether the COVID vaccine should be mandatory.
No, I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand it be mandatory.
Now the Republican National Committee and several GOP governors are already threatening legal action.
We will defend and protect our people from this unlawful mandate.
As the Biden administration calls on governors to mandate teachers be vaccinated, the nation's second largest school system in Los Angeles is going a step further. The LA School Board voting late Thursday to require vaccines for all students 12 and over.
So important as we try to build herd immunity and so forth to be vaccinated.
Some parents opposed to the move.
It should be left up to the parents to make this decision.
Stick around because there's much more coming up on Today in 30. And we're back with America Remembers, marking the terror attacks of 9/11. 20 years later, the scars do remain, especially for those directly impacted, like the children whose parents never came home.
Yeah, I recently visited the 9/11 museum to meet 3 men so inspired by the heroism of their fathers, they chose to follow in their footsteps and become first responders themselves.
We have a breaking news story to tell you about. A plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center.
What's it like to be here in the 9/11 museum, carrying this memory forward? 20-year anniversary, Chris.
This year it's a little more, you can just feel it a little bit more. It's on every channel you watch. We're constantly reminded every single day of our loss, but this time of year just seems to be magnified. It's a little more visceral, a little more painful.
Chris Gansey, Rob Sendry, and James Dowdell all had fathers in the FDNY. Firefighters who rushed to the scene that morning and answered not just a call, but a calling.
It's kind of surreal that we're here 20 years later. You know, it's gone by in the blink of an eye.
Rob's dad, Ray, was far from the front lines on light duty that day because of an injury. But when word came, he sprang into action anyway, hitching a ride downtown with a news truck. And when that hit traffic, he switched to an ambulance and kept going.
He wasn't going to miss it. He was going to be there, and he was going to do anything he could to get there and help out. That was just his nature.
Ray was last seen running into the North Tower. It was the day after Rob's 11th birthday. James' father, Kevin, was part of Rescue 4 in Queens. No one in his company survived. It was James's first day of senior year. Is there some comfort in knowing that people are remembering and they're forced to remember?
Yes, everyone says never forget, and when people remember, that does mean something, because at the end of the day, all we have is the legacies of our fathers.
Chris, your father was chief of department, one of the supervisors that day. What do you remember?
As far as my father went, I was, naive, I guess, in the sense that the chief of department, he's the #1 guy, right? So he would be removed from the situation. But thinking about it now and really digging into the type of person my father was, Pete Gansey was not the type of guy to lead from behind. And if he was going to put somebody in harm's way, he was going to be right next to him. And on that day, he was no different.
A father of 3, Chief Gansey used to say he really had 10,000 kids, all the men and women under his command. He was the highest-ranking firefighter to die that day.
You can come into this beautiful place and you can just think about how many lives were touched by the sacrifice of Jimmy and Rob, my dad, and the countless others of first responders who never made it home that day.
The guys grew up idolizing their dads, their little footsteps often found in the firehouse, soaking up the magic and the camaraderie. After 9/11, they followed their father's footsteps into the FDNY. Rob, an EMT. Chris, now a battalion chief, his father's brass forever pinned on his collar. And James, a firefighter in the very engine house where his father once worked. It's a way to hold hands with your fathers, to carry on their work that they gave so much for.
My father's died for this uniform, so to put it on is a huge honor. It's definitely something to be proud of.
This is what I was supposed to do. And it's been an unbelievable gift that he's been able to give me in his passing.
But Chris, you were on a totally different track.
Oh, totally different.
You got your master's in
You know what my father would be
business.
doing right now? He would say, why did I spend $200,000 on an Ivy League school when I could have bought a boat? But I always feel I have to make a tough decision or something going on. I got a little piece of him watching over me.
Their father's memories and spirits are never far from mind. There was the moment Rob, at a probationary ceremony, visited the memorial, pausing where his father's name is inscribed.
We were standing up there, getting ready to lay the wreath. We were talking about my dad because we were right at the corner where my dad's name was. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw something fall. And I was just kind of like going to brush it off my shoulder.
It was a butterfly that had come to rest.
It was a very special moment because it stayed there for about 15 minutes. It really helped me out that day because it wasn't very easy to come down here. Definitely brought some comfort, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little piece of his spirit flying by.
For sure.
And finally, Rob, this is a moment where the world is focused again on that terrible day. What would you want them to remember?
My dad, Chris's father, James' father, they're not just, pictures. They were people with families that loved them. Their stories are just 3 stories of many from that day, but us talking about them is important to keep their memory and their legacy alive.
More than pictures, they all were so positive about the way their lives changed that day. Like so many people who lived through 9/11, there's before and there's after. And of course, there's so much grief and after 20 years, but they also talked about how their father's loss propelled them to this mission and this life and this calling that they otherwise wouldn't have. They lost their father, but they found brothers, that closeness. And in fact, Chris told me that he thinks he said, in another life, I wrote a children's book about 9/11. It's called Chief. And he read it at school and met his wife that way.
Oh, man.
So they really feel their father's memories and their spirits and their impact.
You felt the comfort that they got from their fathers. That was so beautiful.
That butterfly.
Yeah,
That's who crazy.
I know, and that's just 3 stories. You think about
And also
all the
Rob's
firefighters
dad,
we
like
lost.
he was saying, his dad had light duty that day, and he took, planes, trains, and automobiles just to get to.
Do you know where
that
he
really
was?
defines the heroism of the first responders that day. That he would be, everybody's going the other way.
You know, here's the thing. His name was Raymond York. He was actually doing fire education right here at 30 Rock. He was Fireman Ray for the little kids because he had injured himself. But when he heard it, he got on a news truck coming right from here, went all the way down. They stopped him. The news truck couldn't go further. He got out. He got in an ambulance, went back down. I mean, that's
that story.
spirit.
That's it right there.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, football's back, and so is our special series, Today Food Loves Football. All season long, we're going to be bringing you tasty recipes in honor of the Sunday night game here on NBC. This week, Chicago Bears against the LA Rams out on the West Coast. Joining us, we got J.J. Johnson of Field Trip Restaurant right here at 30 Rock. But, J.J., bear with me. Before we get to the recipes, let's just wrap up our tailgating bracket. A few moments ago, I mentioned nachos won the title, took down cheeseburgers. It crushed wings in the semifinals. And that was welcome news to Savannah Guthrie, who saw her dreaded bones with sauce, as she refers to wings, go down in flames. But I've been on a mission to convince Savannah that wings are actually wonderful. We have a plate of wings for you. You obviously have gotten bad wings in your life, so hopefully these will be good for you. There's buffalo sauce, there's blue cheese. Yeah. So please, smell them, take them all in, Savannah. And let me give you just a quick history lesson. Wings were born in 1964 by the co-owner of the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York. As the story goes, she accidentally ordered chicken wings instead of chicken necks, needed to find a way to use them. The creation was put on the menu, became a hit, and the rest is history. According to the American Chicken Council, we eat 1.3 billion wings leading up to and during the Super Bowl alone. So, Savannah, let me just help you out on this quest. Here are 5 reasons why wings are wonderful. To start, they're the perfect group food. Like, you can get a big plate of wings and share it easily with a big group. Yeah. Number 2, wings have a higher skin-to-meat percentage than any other part of the chicken. Really? 3, wings are mechanically appealing to human beings because of the bone and the size. You can eat a lot of wings without any hassle to get to the good stuff, like crab legs or fish, right? Number 4, they're wings. Who else has wings? Angels. Number 5. Wings are American with humble roots. They're meant to be shared, and they come with a promise of spending quality time with your people. I'm telling you, friends, family, maybe your partner. Most importantly, your kids. Savannah Guthrie, wings are indeed wonderful.
Carson Daly, a round of applause. No, I mean, I love wings.
You're a professional in the business.
I love wings. Everybody should have wings. You should have wings for Super Bowl with your family, everything.
Yes.
But
brother.
I didn't make wings because your wings look delicious. I'm doing some nachos.
Okay. We're going to get to. Did you eat a wing yet, Savannah?
I did, and I have to say, when I did actually get chicken, it was good, but I got a lot of bone. I'm sorry, it was bones with sauce.
It's how she eats it.
Al, show her how to turn.
You have to bite it.
On the cob. You got to turn it a little bit. Open up your real estate.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to open it.
And also, Angels with Wings is really amazing.
That's the best part of the wing is the bone.
We got nachos, cheeseburger. Let's talk about football on Sunday, though, JJ, because we got the Rams out in L.A. You got nachos, and you're going to do...
I'm doing a little bit of plantain nachos.
This is hype. This is like some bow thruster. Pork butt.
We're going to braise it in beer because it's football season. So I got some pork butt here.
Why pork butt?
It's just fatty. It's delicious. It takes in all the flavor that you want. And, we're going to use a little bit of celery, carrots, chili. I'm a spicy guy, so... We're going to throw this all in your pot.
And you can do this all earlier, right? And just kind of prep it before you load the nachos.
All earlier. If you have kids, you can let this rock. If you forget about it, it's going to be okay. We're going to add in the beer here. I just want to bring this up to a little bit of simmer.
Any particular beer? You like a darker beer? Does it matter?
I think whatever beer you like. What do you have here? We have some Goose Island IPA, right?
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Delicious. You should cook with what you drink. So, chicken stock. We'll bring that up to a simmer. A little tomato paste, and then we'll throw the pork right in and top it off. But let's get into the flavor. So it's really good. We got some avocado crema here, some yogurt, a little bit of garlic, lemon juice. Now, my friends always ask me, how do you cut the avocado like this? I don't want anybody holding the avocado in their hand in the air anymore.
Right through.
Just right here on the cutting board, roll it around really nice.
Right, clear the digits.
There you go. Boom.
Beautiful. All right.
Okay.
Good tip there.
Mix this around. Now, This isn't your average nachos. We're taking plantain chips.
This is genius.
So right? Okay, so plantain
Unbelievable.
chips. Look at this here. Look at the pork, everybody. It's delicious. Just spread this all around.
Does that
Come
make them
on.
healthier,
Now,
JJ?
No.
It cooked in beer.
Okay, so no.
Wow, that's great.
But if you're a vegetarian, you don't need the pork.
No.
But if you're a
It's so
vegan, you
good.
don't need
You're
the
right.
pork.
Yeah.
Add your black
You're not
beans.
even doing chips. You're just doing plantain chips
Just
as your tortilla chip.
but you can put the black beans. You can use
avocado.
coconut yogurt
Avocado
here.
crema, some
Avocado crema.
It's really good.
Cheese. I hear it's really good over there.
It is
magnificent.
delicious.
Look at this.
The
Spread this all
plantain
on.
chips are genius.
This is
Little Monterey
cheddar,
Jack.
Monterey Jack.
It makes it a little
Then
different.
if you like spice right here, pickle jalapenos, throw those on top.
good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
JJ, that's
Come on.
awesome. That is nacho on another level.
These should have been in the competition.
Yes.
These right here.
Not your average nachos.
Not your average nachos. Oh, my beer.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Delish.
All right.
How do you do your burgers?
Just throw them on the grill, probably like an 80-20 mix.
Okay.
Content.
80-20 mix is what it's about. I want everybody to start going to your butcher shop.
Okay.
I want you to get chuck, short rib. Have them add in a little bit more fat.
Yeah.
But the most important part when you're with the burger is making sure it is even, so it cooks evenly. So get that ice cream scoop, scoop it out. Use some ring molds.
I didn't know
So
that.
don't have a ball. Make it flat and even.
No, right here. Get the ice cream scoop right here. Put it in get your ring mold, scoop it in,
Yep.
It's a whole
pack it in
process.
like
Where do you get those
this.
rings?
Again, this
What's
is a
in here?
family
Is this just ground
activity.
chuck or something,
This is 80-20, your
80-20,
favorite.
okay,
So,
But I see
80%
bacon
chuck.
burgers now. People put short rib. They're
You do a little
mixing
brisket.
it.
You can
Like
mix
put a little
it.
brisket in.
Burger.
You can take the pork that you braise
Yep,
in the
and-
nachos and throw it
Now
in
you're
here.
talking.
I am a cast iron guy though.
Yeah, I like cast iron.
Okay.
Use it on the barbecue also.
I like to put it right on the grill.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Put your cast iron pan right on the
do that,
grill.
Al?
Yeah, I do.
It's good. Al knows, right?
Yeah.
And then you get that going. As you're melting your cheese, turn the heat up, but then bring the top to get that cheese to melt.
Yes, sir.
That's a really important part.
How are we going to elevate this cheeseburger?
Okay. So my kids like to put French fries on their burgers.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like to put hot Cheetos.
Oh, here
Hot
we go.
Cheetos. Hot
That's what
Cheetos
that
on
is.
the
That
burger.
is.
Come on.
Cheetos.
They're so
Hot
good.
Cheetos on the
Let's go.
burger.
It's good. It's fantastic.
Caramelized onions.
Amazing.
And the burger itself is good too. So I mean,
Hot
it's just
Yes.
Cheeto on the burger.
Look at
A
this
winning
caramelized
combo.
onions. If you don't like hot Cheetos, you can use gumbo spice.
Doritos?
There's so much. Yeah, you can do Doritos.
That's fun.
Look at this.
The
Great
onions
flavor.
are fantastic.
The what?
So creative.
So good.
caramelized
I got to
onions.
cheers you for this one.
Oh my gosh.
JJ, yet again, you have crushed it. We're going to be thinking about the Sunday night football game. Bears
Food is
out
bad.
in Los Angeles, loaded nachos, elevated with the beef, the pork butt.
Oh my gosh. Plantain
This
chips.
is crazy.
And we're going to have you come downstairs to field trip. We're right here at 30 Rock. Come right downstairs
Yeah.
in the concourse.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
What is your favorite part about the Today Show?
Hoda and Jenna, their spirit is so wonderful. I haven't been on that often, but whenever I come, I'm always very warmed by them. And I love how they can, if it needs be, they can switch gears and talk about something very serious and somber with real heart.
We're busting. We're so happy. Emmy Award-winning actress Holland Taylor is a powerhouse star of both stage and screen.
Early in her career, she starred alongside a young Tom Hanks. Everybody remembers this in the 1980s sitcom Bosom Buddies.
Remember, she taught Reese Witherspoon a thing or two in Legally Blonde, and she's sticking with teaching in her new gig. She plays Professor Joan Hambling opposite Sandra Oh at the fictional Pembroke University in Netflix The Chair.
Okay, people are talking about this
Buzzy.
show. Yes, but things get a little dicey when her character finds out a student gave her a negative review. Take a look.
If he posts again and say we were at the library,
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to recognize the guy.
that shouldn't be too hard.
What are you going to do if you catch him?
Destroy him, Joan said jokingly, when that's exactly what she was planning to do.
Oh, Oh, we cannot wait. The chair is going to be amazing. First of all, can we just say we love you? We're so happy you're sitting with us today.
Both. I love you, and I'm so cheered by you in this period that we're living through. You have such wonderful spirits, so I'm glad to see you.
What's it like being back? And this is your city.
Well,
you're a city girl.
It is my city. Well, I came back about a month ago, and then now, and it is a joy to be in New York City. I'm an urban girl, and this is the greatest city on earth as far as I'm concerned, and it's coming back to life. People have a great survival and rebuilding spirit.
Yes, you feel it.
You feel it. You absolutely feel it.
And Broadway is back.
Broadway
next
is back
week.
Next week, I think.
Yes, next week, and that's how you started. You started
I did.
on the stage.
Yes, for 15 or so years before I did anything in L.A., which was Bosom Buddies, my first job in L.A. When you said a young Tom Hanks, it was not a young Holland Taylor. But that was my first job out there, and it was with him. Can you imagine?
Was he the same as he is today, Tom Hanks? Back then?
He is exactly who you think he is. And also a very dear and very loyal friend. I mean, here you've heard that Tom writes letters. He has a million typewriters. Every so often you open up the mail and there's a letter from Tom. Forever. For years. It's been 40 years now, so he's wonderful.
You just said something that stuck with me, that it took you a while to get where you were going. But when you first started, your parents said, okay, well, Holland, you need to have a backup plan.
Yes.
And you said what?
I said, no, I don't. Because what? I was like 13. I mean, what did I know about the realities of trying to get into show business, which, by the way, was much easier then than now. Just the sheer numbers of people who want to be in show business. Our society, you know, makes it seem very possible for everybody.
How did you handle rejection such a part of this industry? How you seem like such a tender heart. Like, how did you handle the rejection?
It was hard. I did have some hard times. I once did an audition for something that I wanted so desperately, and I didn't get it, and I was crushed by it. And years later, I mean, 15 years later, the director, who was then the reader with me at the audition, said that was the greatest audition I've ever seen before or since.
Wait, what?
Because you just don't get it. You don't get it. I could have not gotten it because I didn't look right for it. There's a million reasons. So it's very important for actors to just disengage from the winning or the losing, because it doesn't mean a thing.
Well, and what about people? You know, we talk about when you read the comments, you're playing this professor who has a bad review, and you're stuck in it.
Well,
like,
she doesn't normally pay any attention to that. Like I said, did you read your student evaluation? When did you read them? She said 1987. The fact is, she's got her head in books. She's a real scholar. To be a medievalist, as they call people who teach like Chaucer, you have to speak all the European languages fluently, read them fluently, because it's all about language and the birth of modern English. Chaucer wrote in, 1400, or the 1400s. So it's like not anything that's accessible to you. So you're in books, you're thinking about millennia ago, just different times. And so she's not current.
Okay, but we want to play a little game.
We love a game. Do you love a game?
No.
Okay, we're calling this game Holland, Tail, or. All right, so we're going to list a co-star from one of your countless we don't know.
Tail or song.
Whatever you want. So maybe share a tale about one of these actors that you worked with. Okay, so how about Reese Witherspoon from Legally Blonde?
Oh, Reese Witherspoon. First of all, she is so darling in Legally Blonde, and she remains exactly the same. But this is smart as a tack.
Yes.
You know, Professor Stromwell is very, very blithe and acts like she's sort of a dim bulb. But Reese is very sharp.
Have you heard back about Legally Blonde 3?
I haven't heard word one, which is not encouraging.
Yeah, Reese, we got to give a word one.
I have mastered the ability to disengage myself from any expectations. I really, at my age, I find, whatever.
Tell us a little bit about Sandra Oh.
Oh, well. Now, first of all, I love doing this show so much for the reason that I wore no makeup. I decided for this character that I would wear no makeup and do nothing with my hair. I said, I'll put a comb in my hair for when I'm teaching. So
that's your look.
Other than that, nothing. So my hair was like a wispy old lady's, just flying around, nothing like this. Yeah. No makeup and lipstick, because I figure lipstick is the last thing to go. So then I watched the show, and I went, who is that? Who was that old lady with the little rabbit eyes, and I mean, had no mascara on.
By the way, I love that you said lipstick is the last thing to go.
It's true. My grandma Jenna put on lipstick until the very end, and when she stopped.
Yeah, you watch out. But Sandra, you asked about her. She is a genius actress. She works so hard you can't imagine. She has broken down every scene and thought about it from every angle before you even get there.
We love you.
Yes.
I mean, we knew we were going to enjoy this conversation. I just didn't know we were going to enjoy it quite this much.
We wanted to keep going. They've been trying to wrap us, and we're like, we're ignoring you. We ignore you while we talk down.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you, Holly.
We have a really special event we want to tell you about. It'll be next Monday on Today. We're hosting a one-of-a-kind coronavirus in the classroom town hall right on our plaza.
Yeah, it's going to be really informative. It'll be a great morning. We'll take your questions, and we hope you'll join us. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.